Mr. DJ is back at song number 3 on my fantasy playlist, down from number 1 the previous week. Boys to Men with Runs Dry from my fantasy playlist of June the 10th, 1995. And this is my third take on this video because I made a massive mistake on the first couple of takes. I said that The End of the Road was Boys to Men's first hit. It was probably their first number one, but it was by no means their first hit record, so I couldn't let that stand. Because, somebody out there is going to say, oh, whoa, wait a minute, man. Motown Philly was their first big hit. What are you talking about? What, you think you're Mr. DJ or something? I'm going to say, yeah, I am Mr. DJ. I'm correcting my mistake. Indeed, Motown Philly was their first big hit. It was around the spring and summer of 1991. Guess who produced that song? Guess who produced that album? I mentioned him before earlier in the countdown. Dallas Austin, the guy who produced two TLC's Ain't Too Proud to Beg and Creep, and the other song that he produced on my fancy playlist. Oh gosh, I can't remember the name of it. It was another R&B record I talked about. I believe it was Monica's Don't Take It Personal. He produced. The guy was a huge R&B producer back in the day. A second hit song for them, It's So Hard to Say Goodbye, back in the fall of '91 by Boyz II Men. And then they came out with this was a Lost 45, Ooh, something like that, late '91, early '92. And then they soared right back in the fall of 1992 with The End of the Road. And number one for 13 weeks, that is just ridiculous. Now, Billboard, if I remember correctly, Billboard changed its methodology of how they ranked records on their Hot 100. That probably played a role into the longevity as to why this song was number one for so long. Because there's too many other great records out there, but the FM stations will only play a certain number of hot records. And I'm not going to get on my soapbox about that. All right, other hit records by them, I'll Make Love to You and One Sweet Day. That's some nice memories there from 1996. They did that one with Mariah Carey. Interesting thing about Boys to Men, probably would not be a surprise, though. They held the number one spot, cumulatively speaking, for 50 weeks. That puts them in very elite company. That puts them behind Elvis. They're at number 4, behind Elvis, the Beatles, and Mariah Carey. This is basically all in the 90s, too. And written and produced by Babyface, Water Runs Dry. Went to number 2 here in the U.S., number 24 in the U.K. But I got to tell you this story real quick. MTV News, I remember this, I believe it was MTV News who sent a reporter out. They sent a reporter out to the streets of New York City, around Times Square, whereabouts. Porter was asking these people, the passerbys, have you heard the song End of the Road? I mean, we're talking number one, 13 weeks, right? They didn't have a clue. No, I never heard that record. No, what's that? No, I never heard that song. I think he even played it for them on a tape recorder or something. All the people that they talked to, they never heard the record. And it's a sobering reminder just how casual people are about music. Most people are casual listeners. They're not into it like me. That's all there is to it. It's frustrating. Boy, it's a very lonely universe I'm in. Cold and lonely. Like being stuck on an asteroid. Whirling in the void. The top 40 void. Where there's no one but me. Damn, that sounded pretty narcissistic, didn't it? All right, here we go. It's late. That's why I'm rambling. Number 3, Boys to Men, Water Runs Dry. Fantasy playlist, June 10th, 1995.